Let's open the meeting. I'd like to, is anybody associate right now? I sort of lost track. Are you still, you're associate now, Darlene, right? That's right. So I'm elevating Darlene to full member for the purposes for this meeting. Our easiest way to do it. All right. So do we have a motion to open the meeting?
I make a motion, we open the meeting.
Okay, and remember, because we're on Zoom, we have to say our names just to keep it clear.
Rob Usula, I make a motion that we open the meeting.
Colby Streeter, second.
Darlene, second. Aye.
All right, why don't we go around? So, okay,
I
Darlene?
had to say something because everyone was saying their name. We're not used to this.
All right, Darlene?
Yes, Darlene, yes.
Rob
Colby?
Usula, yes. Colby Streeter, yes.
And Vicky Janicki, yes. All right, thank you for that. So we've all been introduced. There is a public sign-in sheet if for anyone who's visiting today. It should be on the table there if it's in its usual spot. So thank you for that. Because we have a few minutes, do we want to look at the minutes from December? I mean, we can get through that. Has people had a chance to look at that? I have it here.
I looked the file over a couple days ago and I haven't really checked it since.
Do you feel ready to vote on it, or do you want to review it in more detail?
Given what it's the topic and that it's a couple pages, I would really want to review it. Do you want to get them approved tonight or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
We can, because we have another meeting, I think, scheduled a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And this is ongoing too, right? So.
Yeah. Okay, so that should be no problem. I think that was the only minutes that we had. We have 3 minutes until the next, so let's, we need we have a planning board mandatory referrals.
We have 3.
We have 3 of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's right, yes, we've got, I don't know if we've got enough time for that, but.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, all right, so if we had one that we could go for it, so we'll give a pause for 2 minutes so we start at the appropriate time for the public meeting.
Someone need a copy of the application? Okay. I have an extra copy of the application.
Colby, do you have access to the legal notice to read as the clerk?
Yes,
Okay,
I believe so.
all right, so when we formally open the hearing,
Okay.
you'll be next up. I'm
This is
getting
back.
my. Oh, I guess, has anybody looked at the annual report?
I was reading that real quick and noticed where it says who the full-time members are, and then it says Darlene and Dave as associate members. Just say that we're associate members. I wouldn't put any verbiage with that. Just,
Oh, what did I write?
we continue to help.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you're in a
Strike
appointed
that out.
position, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see, I wrote, I printed out.
Okay.
And that
did
there's
any-
a lot to say, really.
Robert and Colby, did you have a chance to look at the annual report?
Yeah, I looked at it. I didn't see any issues with it.
I'm looking now. This, I think is
Okay.
the only thing I did not look at.
Beth, I don't think we need to vote on it. We just need to give you feedback, right?
Sure, yeah, any changes, things like that.
So is everyone okay with the annual report with the feedback from Darlene?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right, Beth, so we're good with that. All right, so we can take that off. Get back to the agenda. So what I would say, I have 6:35. Do you guys got 6:35 on your end?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Do I have a motion to open the hearing for what's the street? 241-247 Main Street.
Colby Streeter, so be it.
Rob Usula, second.
Okay, Darlene?
Aye,
Oh.
Darlene, aye. I was waiting for you to say all those in favor.
Colby
Colby Streeter, yes.
and
Rob
Robert?
Usula, yes.
All right, and Vicky, yes. So Colby, would you read the legal ad?
Yep. In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, and the Townsend zoning bylaw, the Townsend Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026 at 6:35 p.m. in Townsend Town Hall, 272 Main Street, Townsend, Mass. On the application of C&J Realty Trust for a special permit under zoning bylaw 145-65 and 145-27C3. The mixed-use building at 241 to 247 Main Street, Assessors Map 51, Block 94, Lot 0, was previously approved and built with 4 two-bedroom apartments and 2 one-bedroom apartments. The applicant's purpose to convert a basement commercial unit into a one-bedroom apartment while removing one bedroom from an existing two-bedroom apartment, converting it to one bedroom. This keeps the total at 10 bedrooms to comply with the approved septic permit limit. The hearing will be conducted in person with a virtual Zoom component provided. Full remote access details will be posted with the meeting agenda at least 48 hours in advance on the town's website under the upcoming events calendar. Interested parties may submit written comments prior to the hearing or speaking at the hearing in person or through an agent/attorney. The application is available for review at town clerks or ZBA offices or by email request to zba@townsendma.gov. Sponsored by Victoria Janicki, Chair, Zoning Board of Appeals, published in the Groton Herald on January 9th, 2026 and January 16th, 2026.
Thank you, Colby. So I believe the applicant, Mark Curtis, is here. Would you like to take
Yes.
us through your proposal?
Yes, what I'm looking to do, and I want to thank the town for giving me the opportunity to have a meeting. My intent is to take the former carpet store and convert that to a one-bedroom apartment, approximately about 770 square feet. It's a fairly small apartment, but that's what the architect could actually fit in there, that profile, to meet the regulations and conform. And that's pretty much what I'm looking to do. It's it hasn't been really easy with commercial property. So also I have Attorney Barrett represent me this evening. But that's what that's pretty much what I'm looking to do.
Okay. And so you have a pre-existing special permit at this time. There's already one that we gave back in 2022 for the original
Right,
conversion to mixed use from commercial.
right, yes.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, again, John Barrett representing C&J Realty Trust, Mr. Curtis. So we were before the board, I guess now about 4 years ago, to convert part of the commercial space in this building to residences. And as Mark said, and as Colby read in the notice, it's a fairly simple proposition, basically, because of the commercial difficulties, it makes more sense to use the basement unit, which is being used had been used by Townsend Floors and Interiors. There's a flooring store there now, but it's, I think, Mark, is it out now or is it, they're on their way out, I think.
No, they're already out.
Yeah, they're moved out. They just couldn't make a
Wrong
go of it.
building.
So, basically, Mark is, asking to, convert that space.
So this is the building that you have an office in?
Yeah,
I thought they were talking about the one across the street. I'm like.
I did too at first. Now, it wasn't, yeah, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, but
Wasn't that long ago?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
where Dot's Boutique used to be.
And I'm like, as soon as he said carpet store, I'm like, there was a carpet store there. Yeah, where the auto school was.
Oh, that way.
They
yeah.
converted
Further
units
up Main
too,
Street, yeah,
like-
next to the, house store, yeah. No, this is the big old building where, well, I won't
Yeah.
take you down history lane, but
Yeah.
it used to be the Wren, pub, the Copper Kettle and,
You don't remember that, do you?
of course I do.
That's history, right?
I used to, I toasted a couple, Pabst Blue Ribbons for
Okay.
35 cents at the Ritz. But that was, dare I say, a long time ago. They're in a galaxy far, far away.
Right. Okay,
So,
now I'm with
the building there burnt down, roughly around 1982 or so. And, the building that's there now was built by, Robbins, Ed Hayward and, John Giardina. And oddly enough, I was on the zoning board that granted them the special permit, back in 1988, I think, for the building. I think took what was basically a big hole in the middle of downtown and made a pretty useful building. But times being what they are, it seems that, the commercial, I think there's still quite a bit of commercial in town that's not occupied. I think in the, Center Plaza, there's a number of units vacant. I think there's a few down in the harbor. My office is still there, but, as some of you may know, I'm going into retirement and I have to apologize for being incognito here. I'm not in my typical monkey suit. I just figured that it's too cold to change into a suit and have too cumbersome to wear an overcoat. So, anyway, if you guys have any questions, and again, thank you all, for participating in this process. I do appreciate, as a citizen of the town, your volunteering. And Robert, so I hadn't met you yet, but we did talk on the phone.
Yep.
And Colby, met you earlier.
We did.
Beth, gave you a warm reception to Townsend, as I
Oh,
recall. Anyway, if you have any questions, Vicky, thank you for your sharing the meeting. And,
I have a question.
yeah,
How many units will it be now?
there will be 7 units, right, Mark? With,
Yes, there'll be 7 units total.
3 1-bedroom and 3 2-bedroom.
Correct. There would be,
Is that right?
Right.
That-
right now, there's 4 2-bedrooms. One's getting converted to a 1. So there'll be 3 and 3, that'll be 6. And then there'll be an additional 1-bedroom. So there'll be 7 altogether.
7 units, but 10 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are 1-bedrooms. They're not real big units. There are some 2-bedrooms
Mhm.
over there.
Yeah, there'd be 3 2-bedrooms and 3 1-bedroom. No, 4 1-bedroom,
Yeah.
sorry, 4 1.
Exactly, 4 1-bedrooms and 3 2-bedrooms units.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Where's the bylaw? You have it out?
I have it right here.
I'm just happy I
Well,
was
look.
there on the table.
You want me to get the big book or?
That's fine, you get to-
That's all right. No, I can look at it.
We can use arrows there.
So the, That's NCD, we're DCD, correct? DCD.
Downtown, yep.
Okay, so there's permitted uses and then there's specially permitted uses. So which criteria under specially permitted uses do you fall under?
I think it's just under special permit criteria.
Okay,
I think it's in, 65, section 65 F.
so DCD C1 allows these are by special permit, not by a matter of right. By special permit is bed and breakfast, 1 to 6 dwelling units within a structure existing on the lot or for which a building permit's been issued as of January 1989, provision of off-street parking, blah, blah, blah. 3, mixed use is residential and commercial. And 4, sales facility for boats, campers, that doesn't apply. So we've got the 2 and 3 here. Mixed use, obviously, residential, commercial.
Mhm.
But it also says up to 6 dwelling units within a structure. So how do we get past the 6 dwelling units?
I think it comes under the mixed use. Because you conceivably could have a building in the DCD that has 1 commercial space and 7 units or.
So the mixed use is 1 commercial space and 1 unit, 1 commercial space or multiple commercial spaces.
I think, Darlene, what the 2 refers to is a solely residential dwelling with 1 to 6 dwelling units.
All right, so permitted is municipal education, detached 1-family dwellings, retail, obviously, office clerical, restaurants, self-serving storage facilities, and accessory uses, customary incidental. So those are permitted.
Right, and.
So the specially permitted bed and breakfast, 1 to 6 dwelling units within a structure existing on a lot. It doesn't say what kind of structure though. It doesn't say if it's a residential dwelling, a commercial dwelling, a mixed use dwelling. It says within a structure for which a building permit has been issued. So it's not a new building. It certainly falls within the 1989 because it was built before that. Right? Yeah, it's old. There's plenty of parking.
Yeah,
And then mixed use just says mixed use.
yeah, I have to say admittedly, the bylaw is maybe a little bit ambiguous there, but I think the fact that it says mixed use, this speaks to the idea that in a building that's being used commercially, you could have residential units as well. And there's no limitation there as to how many residential units or how many commercial units.
Okay, so if there was no commercial use in that building whatsoever, well, now what would it be? Up to 6 dwelling units, right? If there was no commercial use.
Yeah, arguably, the,
Do you guys want to see that? I know I read it out loud. Sometimes I get to see it in writing.
All right,
In the
good.
last decision, you actually,
Want to read it?
is it-
it's in the last decision.
Thank you.
That's what you referenced, is up to 6 units. And so, if you read the end of it, the vote that you took.
Darlene's good. Do you
Yeah.
remember this stuff, huh? You're good.
What? What?
No, I meant in a positive way. If I was like you remembered that detail.
Oh, yeah. So about,
About
issuing the 2 farm votes. it was spelled out, 6 units.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, that was the previous decision.
Yes.
Right. So what we're doing is modifying that.
Right, but the question is, can you,
But you're gaining a unit?
with,
Say again?
You're gaining a unit?
Right,
which
right.
makes it 7 units?
There's a lot of focus on the bedrooms not changing, but that's not even our purview. You have to conform with Board of Health regardless of what we say. We could say, oh yeah, sure, no problem, and the Board of Health's gonna make sure those bedrooms are in check with the septic system, so
Yeah, they already said it's
that's
okay.
not our,
Board of Health said it's okay. I'm still confused by currently has 4 2-bedroom apartments and 2 1-bedroom apartments.
so there's 6 units.
Right.
So in order to not have to deal with the septic system, they're taking 1 bedroom away. They're
Right.
gonna take a 2-bedroom, make it a 1.
Yeah.
Add a unit, another 1 bed, so you have all the same bedrooms, so your septic's fine.
So you have 6. You still have 6 units.
No.
There's 7 units.
No, because one of the bedrooms would, one of the units that have 2 bedrooms would be, the bedroom would be
A 1-bedroom.
a 1-bedroom.
Yeah.
And that bedroom would move down to the basement apartment. Septic system.
So you currently have 4 2-bedrooms and 2 1-bedrooms.
Right,
And then, so then going ahead, you'll have 3 2-bedrooms
right,
and
4
4 1-bedrooms.
right.
Each bedroom represents about 110 gallons of flow per day. Going by Title V criteria. So that's how we were able to conform and meet it. We had to sacrifice a bedroom.
And you can have as many bathrooms as you want, as many people, but only a certain amount of bedrooms.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thoughts, guys?
No, I think, Mark, when you met with the building inspector, he didn't see any, problem with it, right? Other than.
Not at all.
You have to get a modification of the permit, because it came under the.
Exactly. No, he didn't see a problem with it. And, the Board of Health had looked it over, and they didn't have an issue with it because like they said, 10 bedrooms is 10 bedrooms. However, it's broken up. It could be 10 1-bedroom units or whatever it may be.
I was curious if we have more of a definition of mixed use.
I think it's pretty clear. It says up to 6 residential units in a structure. I can't, it's very clear.
Mr. Barrett, do you have any sort of convincing arguments or thoughts around the 6 versus 7 in this case?
Well, again, I just have to rely on the fact that it says mixed use, and I don't think those are separate permitted uses that can be allowed. There's nothing in the mixed use residential commercial that says it has to be, when you have a commercial unit, that you can only have so many residential units with it. As I see it, these are separate types of uses, a bed and breakfast, or a sole residential unit that is for residents. That's the 1 to 6 dwelling units. The mixed use is a mixed use. And this is still a mixed use, it's still commercial. Admittedly, I think if you were to take out all of the commercial, you'd have a problem with saying, okay, we're gonna convert this into 10 units, because now it's not mixed use, it's all residential. Now, maybe it could be converted all to residential if there were 3-bedroom units in it. But of course, there's a limitation here as far as the septic system, so couldn't do that.
I apologize, this was not in your packet, so if you could let the chair know But you need to read that one.
Okay.
It's my mistake, there was one more referral comment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, why don't we read in the mandatory referrals at this point since you have it?
Okay, I realize you haven't read them yet.
Yeah. Oh, good. Timing's everything, Beth.
Are you reading them?
Yeah, I'm just getting all the others out as well. So,
So there's 5 in all.
I'm getting the referral comments out.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I have, let me know if I miss any. I have referral comments here from, first, the select people, these are, excuse me, who's this from? This is from Lori, our select person. She said, we need additional housing.
Next.
Next is this is Board of Health. Townsend Board of Health approved a certificate of compliance for a new septic system designed for 10 bedrooms and 2,000 square feet of office space on December 28th, 2022. This application proposes building a new 1-bedroom apartment in the basement and configuring an existing 2-bedroom apartment to a 1-bedroom. The proposal would still be within the design capacity of the system and would be okay. The Board of Health still reserves the right to review all plans submitted if application to the building department occurs. And this is from the building department. The building department has no objection to this additional unit as there is fire protection already in place and 2 means of egress.
Is there one from the planning board? Oh, is there more?
No, I don't see one.
Yes.
No, there is one not required of the planning board.
Well, yeah, there is one.
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Okay. Read that wrong?
Are these here?
Oh, building commissioner. Oh, okay.
The top one.
So just blank? No comment, I should say? Okay, good. The planning board has no comment.
And the water department, no comment.
And the water department has no comment.
There you go. That's all.
All right, good. So we've got that out of the way. Is there anyone on the call or in the room that have any public questions or input, feedback? I don't see anyone on the call. And I'm assuming there's no one in the room. Okay. So at this point, let's close the public testimony and move into a discussion about the special permit request. So we could go through the A through G, is it? A
Yes.
through G, yep. To determine, that part of the criteria, or we can sort of gnaw on the 6 versus 7 units at this point. Which folks would like to do.
I think the 6 versus 7 is the biggest issue. It's pretty
Yeah.
clear. It says uses allowed by special permit from the Board of Appeals, 1 to 6 dwelling units. I don't know how we get around that.
Mm.
I think it's really good though, trying to do the mixed use and bring it in there, but to me, it's a separate. It does have mixed use, but I don't think it makes it okay to do more than 6 units in a structure.
Yeah.
And part of it's like, okay, we don't need commercial, so in a year it'll be another unit. Which, I mean, we need them, we do need them. So what happens, you keep one commercial pretend unit in the end, just so you have a mixed use to allow more than 6 units. I'm just like going on a stretch there that doesn't make that work, like, you know what I mean? Like to keep for the mixed use to allow it.
Like, I can mention that there are 2 commercial uses there now, well, actually 3.
There too, great.
I guess I'll throw out there.
My intent is for them to stay too. You know, keep those 2 commercial.
Well, how is everyone reading the bylaw of 14527 downtown commercial district, in particular, subsection C there, as was mentioned for, 1 being bed and breakfast, 2 being 1 to 6 dwelling units, 3 mixed use, and 4 sales facility for boats and whatnot. Are you reading those as all requirements of each property?
Any and all of those require a special, to do any of that, any of those uses require a special permit.
Right. Each one by itself.
Those are the restrictions on a special permit.
Yeah.
So what we have in front of us is 7 units
But,
in the
okay,
structure.
so if you go by that, you're saying that a bed and breakfast as well cannot have more than 6, well, it's not dwelling units then, would it be? Because it's temporary.
Yeah, a bed and breakfast, I would say up to 6 units. I wouldn't, yeah.
Okay.
I don't, no one's ever asked for that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're
Hearing, so
completely.
I'm not gonna speak,
Yeah, I don't know why do we close the hearing? Well, if we want any additional information, we can't ask for it once we close the hearing, so.
And
But that's okay. If that's what everyone's intent was, I'm okay with that. Can I see?
and I guess that's my question. If each of these are different categories with different requirements, or if they compound on each other.
I don't know if I'd call a bed and breakfast a dwelling unit either. I don't know.
Right.
You're kind of getting into the hotel versus long-term again, transient versus
I
a
know.
residence, that can be that's different. It's like got a different meaning. A bed and breakfast, somebody's transient. I don't know if that's a dwelling unit.
When you think of Article
So-
C2, if it didn't say 1 to 6, if it just said uses allowed by special permit, a dwelling unit within a structure existing on the lot for which a building permit had been issued, then we wouldn't have this issue. But it specifically says 1 to 6. It doesn't say 1 to 5. It doesn't say 1 to 10. For whatever reason, it's very specific that that's all you can have.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably because elsewhere in the bylaw, you get into multifamily into certain levels, and the bylaw addresses multifamily.
Yeah, and the bylaw addresses
places,
what's
so,
a dwelling unit and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's my only or question. And that's kind of why I was going back to my math again, saying we're 6, right?
Yeah.
But you said no, so.
So it sounds, so at this point, we have I think a couple of options, and correct me if I'm wrong. So I think one is we could take a vote at this point. We could go through H through G, do a vote if we wanted to be complete. We could continue the hearing if we think there's more information or research, if we want a legal opinion. I think those are the two things right now.
You close the public hearing, so we can't get more info.
Can we vote to open it again?
If everyone felt that was needed, I suppose. Friendly motion or whatever.
We're here, may as well.
Well, I think everyone's struggling with 7 going over the 6 units. I think,
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what else we can collect that changes that.
Mhm.
It is what it is. We don't like it because we want to, but we don't have that magic wand. And so what would be the proper way to, and we never make negative motions. We don't deny. I think we usually do go through the criteria. We vote to grant the permit and then we vote no on it. Or do we just say it's not applicable? Can we do that? It's not applicable because it's,
I think, yeah, you.
is that, what's a better way to
Go through
handle
the
it?
criteria, and then you would go under suitability,
Right,
that's where you would say.
right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Suitability, yeah.
And then you would, vote to, based on the findings of facts, which are the criteria.
If I might, Madam Chair, I raise a point of privilege, I guess, whether or not the applicant could withdraw his application.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe come back, they require a new filing, I believe, but I think that we didn't anticipate this problem with the numbers there, and maybe
You could get
further
creative.
research could help the board come to the desired end from our point of view.
Yeah.
It might still not, but but it might require. I just asked Mark if you want to withdraw before the board votes.
Without prejudice, is that what you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
without
Yeah,
prejudice.
yeah. Mixture, yeah. Yeah, that's a better.
Well,
better
yeah.
option.
I mean, I don't know really what would change. I'd probably just as soon take a vote on it. And, from a legal standpoint, I don't quite know enough about it, John.
Listen to John.
I would recommend withdrawing is, I think that, I can't definitely predict what the board is going to vote, but I have a feeling that if we came back at a later date, we might have a better argument for the 7 units. I don't see the advantage, I guess, to going forward to a vote that if it turns out to be a negative vote. And we have, I think, only 4 voting members here tonight.
Right.
So it requires a unanimous vote.
I think the part he's not getting is if we deny the special permit, you're prohibited from coming back. Is it a period of time? 2 years? You can't come back to us for the same thing for 2 years. If you withdraw your application, that kind of frees you up to revisit the situation in whatever manner you'd like. You won't be limited. And John's going, based on what we're bringing up, he doesn't think we're going to vote for it. So.
Just a guess.
Yeah.
Okay, then whatever you feel, John.
I would recommend withdrawing, Mark.
Okay.
So Beth, how should Mark proceed with formally withdrawing the application? So
He would just write a letter, and sign it, request to withdraw the application, without prejudice, today, just sign it and get it to me if you would, and then I will give it to the clerk, and that will close the loop there. But you're not a representative officially, because I don't think you have the authorization to represent form, or do you? I'm trying to remember. I don't think it's in the application.
No.
Otherwise, you
I mean,
could do it. I don't.
maybe not, right?
Yeah, so I think it has to come from Mark, as the applicant.
Right, right.
So if you would just make sure you
We
write
didn't
that.
have those requirements back when I was on the zoning board.
Yeah.
If I said I was here as the attorney for the applicant, that was enough.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's up to the board, and you can do whatever way you want.
Well, if we hear it from the applicant too, and I don't know if he's able to send a quick email to you to say, I'll write a letter, or I don't know.
Are you able to send an email to me, Mark?
Sure, I could send an email to you.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Just
that
to
you're,
make sure it's, yeah.
officially withdrawing this
Oh,
application.
is that something you'd want right now?
If you could. Yeah.
Not the best at it, but I'll give it a whirl.
Messy's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so at this point, if there is a withdrawal,
We don't,
do we technically close the meeting, or is it just,
I think it automatically
I think,
closes it.
well, if there is actual withdrawal, I think you would still vote to
Accept the-
give leave to withdraw.
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
So do we have a motion to accept the withdrawal of the application?
I make a motion, we accept the withdrawal of the application for 241, 247 Main Street.
That was Robert making the motion.
Yeah, that was me,
Darlene seconds.
Without prejudice.
without prejudice, yeah.
Yeah.
And Darlene,
Second, yeah.
Robert,
Rob Usula, yes.
Colby Streeter, yes.
and Vicky Janicki, yes. Okay,
Darlene, yes. I was the second.
okay.
Thank you.
Right.
That's a great location for that too.
Well, that's kind of
You know?
what,
Yeah.
well, I'll wait till the hearing's closed, but I guess.
How would you like this worded, John? Do you want me to give you a call? Which I can do. I mean, is it okay to just put I'm going to be withdrawing, or?
Put it on there, just, I hereby request the withdrawal of the application, for, 7-unit,
Just say for 241, 247.
Yeah.
41 Main Street. Yeah, just
Don't
don't
say-
identify what it is.
Don't say seven.
Maybe you guys have the number, the case number, I don't have it here.
No.
No,
Oh,
that's
Okay.
That's all right. If he just sends the email real quick, he can write a letter if he wants afterwards. for
Yeah.
the- For the file.
Okay, while he's doing that, do we want to move on to, can we move on to the next thing?
Why not?
You're good, Beth? Okay. So looking at the agenda, let me just make sure we've hit everything. We're putting off the minutes from December. So Mark and John, thank you for coming. And
Thank you.
we'd be interested to see your research and what comes back.
Yep, well, thank you, and, hopefully we'll revisit the issue, at a later date.
John's got to get creative now.
Yeah.
All right, so then we have, so moving on to the planning board mandatory referrals.
Okay.
Let's see where those guys are.
Not in here, are they?
Comment form.
Let me know which ones you come up with first. I can follow along online. So we have 22 West Meadow, 3 Wheeler, and 53 West Meadow. Stuff happening there.
Oh, yes, yeah, there we go. So
What's
we-
coming
we can
before
start
us
with-
next?
You can, if you want.
That should
like-
do it. Okay, thank you, board.
All right, thank
All
you.
right.
Yep.
Sheriff's the clerk if you want, like, I don't know if this is the way you want to do
All right,
it.
wanna
I'll talk to you later.
Let them know that you got it.
Okay.
You free 'em up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so then you want to.
Yeah.
Have not yet. Got it, okay.
Sweet.
Thank you, and then follow up with a letter and signature, okay?
Yeah, have them write a letter.
Yeah, we'll follow up.
Yeah.
Thank you, folks. Thank you, Victoria. Have a good night.
So you can, if you want to do this, just a suggestion.
You know how I zoom out of the meeting?
And then have a discussion on the application. All the applications.
We can hear you, Mark, just so you know.
It's still live and everything. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, are you there?
He's asking for help to leave the meeting.
Okay.
Down the bottom right, it says leave meeting, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Is it?
There we go.
Yay.
All right.
Okay, cool.
All right, here we go. Mandatory referrals. Which one do you guys want to start with? You got the paper.
What's our next, what are we hearing next?
On the 18th.
Is it one of these?
No.
None of them?
These are planning board,
Oh, okay.
projects and hearings that you are asked to comment on.
Okay.
So, but I can tell you about your next one or,
Well, I just want to make sure, sometimes something goes between both of us. It goes in front of zoning and planning, and if it's coming between both of us, I don't want to make a comment to the planning board if we're gonna hear it too. That's all.
One of them is before the ZBA for a earth excavation special permit.
Okay, so it's one of
The
those
other one
addresses.
Is for the planning board, for stormwater management. It's just one of those multi-permitted
Yeah.
projects.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, and it's specifically, this referral notice is specifically for a comment on stormwater, which, I don't know that the ZBA would have a comment, but we just do that as part of the process.
Yeah.
If you don't want to comment, that's fine.
Yeah, if it's coming before us,
Yeah.
the same address, I don't feel the need to.
So three-wheeler, if you want
you
to
might
no
have
comment it, that's fine. But this one, 22 West Meadow, this is a project change that is modification. You can read the legal notice if you want, and then so for 22.
That would help, yeah.
Okay. Vicky, you want me to read the
You
referral
have a
notice?
great voice. Go for it.
Thanks. That's a first. All right. Mandatory referral notice. The town and planning board will hold a public hearing on February 23rd, 2026 at 6:35 PM in Select Board Chambers, Memorial Hall, 272 Main Street, Townsend, Mass, in accordance with MGL Chapter 48 and the Townsend zoning bylaw. The hearing concerns an application by Lawrence Skip Provost for modification of site plan approval under zoning bylaw 145-86. The requested changes involve removal of vegetative screening south of the access road and along West Meadow Road, along with associated conditions from the original permit for the ground-mounted solar installation known as Lockbrook Solar, located at 22 West Meadow Road, Assessors Map 4, Block 15, Lot 0, in the Residential Area 3 zoning district and Aquifer Protection Overlay District. Public remote access information to the meeting is to be announced. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
There you go.
just
There we go.
what the
So
That's-
is,
modification is. It's a modification to a special permit that was issued in 2019. The change is they're asking for removal of conditions for the vegetative screening that it was approved. So that's basically it.
and as far as I know, never really put in, but anyway.
It was put in and it was maintained for 5 years, per the permit. If you read the application, the applicant, not the applicant, but the, manager, they did 5 years worth of annual reports on the array, and they did replant it. But they're asking now for that to be basically removed. Just,
It's beyond our scope. Unless any of you have anything.
This is gonna come before us, isn't it?
nope,
No?
no, this is a planning board modification to a site plan review, and your role is to either make a comment or make a no comment.
I think it's a no comment.
No comment, yeah.
But, I just, so this is after the fact, right? They've already removed
Correct.
vegetation.
Correct, they're asking
And-
for a permit.
They're looking for a permit now.
Well, no, they're asking for a change, a modification to the permit to remove it from the permit.
Permanent.
It's already removed from the site, but
Right.
now they want, they need to, it's basically administrative, clerical.
To remove the requirement of vegetation from the permit.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
if they say no and they've already removed it, then that's their that's a problem, right?
It's an after the fact.
It's like if somebody starts building before they get their building permit, yeah.
But they were only required to have it for 5 years.
Well, no, it's required as part of the bylaw. It is part of for a solar array,
Yeah.
you are required to have screening. Correct. So,
So it's still required right now to be vegetated. Is that right?
vegetative screening was required in the bylaw. It is
To-
part of the bylaw. Correct.
Okay, and it's been removed and it's no longer there.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just failing to see.
Let the planning board deal with it.
Yeah, it's not our bailiwick.
Yeah.
Okay,
It doesn't involve zoning.
so that would not
Yeah.
be a special permit, that would,
Not a special permit. It's a site plan approval. It's by right. Solar array is by right, but there is a site plan review with conditions that was issued in 2019 when the array was originally permitted. And this is a project change that needs to be changed in the permit.
okay. So vegetation,
Did you read the application?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so this is, yeah, and we'd have a comment then if you didn't read the application.
Do we have it right?
Yes, we do. It was in your folders.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I'm trying to look at the
You
vegetation.
want to make sure that you read the application before you comment.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think the problem here is that the landowner removed the vegetation. Is
Yes.
that what I'm reading? And Next Amp was the one who owned, I think, owns the permit, so to speak. Are they leasing the land?
Yes, that's right. You can open that up and read it. There's a narrative there. Okay.
Yeah, because I think the meeting's coming up before we have our next meeting, so.
What would our comment be? We trust the planning board to follow the rules? I mean,
We're gonna say no comment.
I can't think of anything we would.
This is your narrative here. This public letter. Yeah. And
Let's
did
see.
this, so this did not fall under a special permit? What was?
This is not a special permit. It's
Okay.
a by right site plan review, formal site plan review with conditions that was issued in 2019.
I guess I don't understand why we are asking
It's a
to
courtesy.
comment.
It's a courtesy, yeah.
It's a courtesy. Most often, we have no comment because we don't have any policing power or say, and they cover all that stuff anyways.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it'd be like the Board of Health asking us for, a comment or a remark on putting in a septic system, like,
All right.
it's,
I think I've already said enough.
no, just, well, everyone
It's good.
learns. And
Okay.
it's
so-
not,
So it sounds like the consensus is, no comment on that one, 22 West Meadow.
The other one is a stormwater permit as well, so for 53 West Meadow Road.
I know nothing about stormwater.
Okay. All right. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So, again, is that another consensus on no comment? Anybody
53 West
disagree?
Meadow Road?
Yeah, 53 West Meadow Road.
Yeah, no comment.
No comment.
Okay, and then the last one is Wheeler Road, 3-wheeler?
Yeah, and that is also a modification to a stormwater management permit. And there is the stormwater management permit was issued concurrently with the earth excavation special permit. And that is going to be heard by the board on the 18th. There's a public hearing, a new application for that special permit. So planning board handles the stormwater, the ZBA handles the earth excavation special permit application.
When's the planning board meeting?
For the,
Stormwater?
that is on February 23rd.
So it's after we meet.
Yes.
So I think if there was anything that we did find out about it, so.
Yeah. Perfect.
I wouldn't have any comment until the 18th.
No comment then. Everybody's good with that?
I
Colby?
have a little discussion.
Sure.
with it. So I think what would fall under our purview possibly with the stormwater permit, is the possible change of plan for the use of the building there. This plan goes back to 2016, with several iterations of the plans there, and extensions. The original plan was for that building to be removed, and the entire area graded, for completely different plan. As far as a special permit possibility is that, the use of that building now, which has been renovated to be,
Can I interrupt you? If you're not talking about a special permit now, we're only talking about the stormwater management permit. You can't talk about the other
I
until
understand,
you open that public hearing.
okay.
So if you can talk
But if
directly to the
that stormwater
management
system
permit,
It's supposed to allow for a different use of the building,
it has
which
nothing to do
could
with
possibly
stormwater.
require
Nothing
a
to do
special
with the
permit.
stormwater application. The
Okay.
only comment you can make is you review the application that was submitted,
Mhm.
and then you can make a comment on that, or you can ask the board if they want to comment on that. But the application is strictly for a stormwater modification, and that's what you have to address. And there is no zoning in stormwater management. It's stormwater management. It's a completely different permit. It's not in the zoning bylaw.
Right.
So, I would just say you have to stay
So we
within-
will get the opportunity to talk on the,
Questions?
Yeah, that would be, okay.
right, so we're at no comment on that one as well. We'll get our opportunity, it sounds like, to talk about the other aspects of the project
Zoning.
in the
yeah.
future. Yep. Okay, so we've gotten through that. Let's see. That's planning board, sorry.
Very rare, and very rare that we have a comment on someone else's, like those mandatory referrals. We really need them, but we don't really
Hmm.
give them.
For a special permit
Which is
should
different.
be applied for though, We still
You
should
really can't talk
make a
about
comment?
you can't talk about the case
Okay.
unless it's before you,
Right,
correct?
and it will be before us. There is one coming before us.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So we're gonna have that's why I was talking about, February 18th, that's coming before us. It'll be a
Mhm.
public hearing.
Okay.
So you're gonna have plenty of time to address anything. The planning board's not meeting till the 23rd.
yeah.
So anything, if we have anything we want to share with them, we're meeting first, so that's kind of cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see how we're doing on our agenda. We did the referrals. All right. So remember that the bylaw that we had crafted after much discussion. Did folks read our town council's response and that
Can I
email?
ask a question first before we discuss this?
Sure.
When was that put on our agenda to discuss? And I don't know,
What?
we're
So-
about to discuss. When was it put on our agenda?
Last week?
When the agenda was posted?
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure the public knows that this was on our agenda, it wasn't
Oh,
added.
yeah. It's
That's
been
all.
for like a couple weeks.
Yeah, okay. I didn't see that on there before. I had reviewed everything. That's all, and I missed that other because it was in something else I wasn't used to.
Oh,
So
yeah.
sorry about that. Anyways. Sorry, Mrs. Chair.
So let's open it. So we've gotten feedback from town council. Planning board, I think, gave us feedback as well to revisit it. So I'll tell you, like, as I've read through town council's, and I think I need to read it again a few more times because it didn't quite stick. And so I'm wondering if we can. So the thing that I came to is, should we invite town council to join our next meeting so that we can walk through it with them? No?
Well, maybe. I'm just saying no because it's gonna cost us money. But go ahead. Go.
I
But
think we
yeah,
need
'cause-
to have town council here.
But
'cause
let me-
it's
First, let me
very
just say, before we go on too far with this.
Yep.
Creating bylaws is not our job.
Right.
What we did, the applicant and everyone, we thought they were doing a favor and being helpful by doing what we thought and sending it to the planning board. It's back to us, but part of me is like, oh, well, we tried. I mean, if anyone, you want to think about this as a public servant, as a member of a citizen of the town, be careful, zoning board. We don't create bylaws, we enforce them. So I can't stress that enough. As we discuss that, just keep it in mind. If there's an easy solution that fixes, it says, oh, well, that's a great idea. Yeah, we'll do that. I would have expected the planning board to take that and then create something that did fit. And they didn't do that, and I don't know why. Because they've done it in the past.
No, they don't write either. You have to have that professionally done, which means we need
The
to
planning
outsource
board
it.
has created and changed bylaws in the past. They've done it.
They've outsourced it to the planning commission.
They might for final wording, but they come up with, I'm telling you, I've done it, they've done it. I've been here a long time. Because we've done this before, and we've kind of put our thoughts so that when you give them this, and then they run with it. So they don't want to outsource it. They want us to, I'm trying to get clarification of what the expectation is now, what to do with this.
It's to take the town council's comments and decide what you want to do. Basically, it's up to the board.
I'm urging a lot of caution with this. He's not telling us not to, but still.
Yeah.
All right.
He's telling us there's a good chance that goes to the state and they're not gonna approve it.
Right.
You're gonna say you're doing spot zoning, by putting in a date, you're giving somebody an unfair advantage. So,
He's pointing out exactly what we did. We created a way for these people to do what they want to do, and it is exclusive to them only, and that's what he found, and he's not wrong.
yeah,
That's what he,
right.
yeah, that's what he found. So how do you fix that? How do you create something that still kind of allows them to do what they want to do, but applies to all the zoning in general?
Hmm.
It's getting a little out of our, I don't know, what we do.
That's why I think it would help us. I know it'll cost money, but it would help us to have the town attorney here to be able to ask questions directly about some of this, because I think a lot of it comes down to the terminology of dwelling versus hotel motel versus continuous and permanent habitation versus temporary or transitional, whatever, that kind of stuff. Because if you
Because
just look,
his opinion, what I think what he has said before is that he doesn't think we need a bylaw change. And maybe
Right.
one of the questions I have is, can you convince, why, be able to answer more of our questions about why you think that is okay when we can point to this piece of the zoning and say, no, it's not.
yeah, but that's why I think a face-to-face would answer those questions without having to go back and get more legal memos of 3 or 4 pages and try to understand them and exactly what he was saying and what he wasn't saying, so.
Let me ask you all a simple question. Is there a difference between a hotel and a house?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So everyone's getting into the definitions. Don't do that. I mean, yeah, in a certain way you do. A dwelling, what is a dwelling? The difference is transient versus long-term residency. That's the difference. You can call it anything you want. Put whatever curtains on it, whatever label you want, that's what it is. And you've got the previous decision that says that. They wanted transient, not long-term in there. The bylaw calls for hotel motel. And now we're getting into, well, what's a hotel? What's a motel? And anytime the bylaw doesn't have the definition exactly, we've opened up the dictionary. If you were to go to court and go, well, Your Honor, we don't know what transient's not, we don't know how long transient is. It's not in the bylaw. I think we were stupid. So it's kind of like, you need a little bit of common sense here too. Address the transient versus the residents. And that's what they want. We gave them, they can do a hotel motel by right. They can't do permanent residency. And we're trying to allow them to do that maybe it's not under the hotel motel
Right, they didn't
category.
ask for that.
Maybe it's, well, they did.
No, they requested a special permit as a dwelling, not hotel motel,
Oh, I
for
see what you're saying.
long-term residential use. And we ended up giving them
Gotcha.
something that said hotel motel, but as of January 2026.
So you could create something else instead of the hotel motel. You could also put in there make a whole nother thing, say long-term residency.
Hmm.
And multiple dwellings. And then we know what you're gonna find. You're gonna go back to the planning board and they're gonna go, well, we have a multifamily, you gotta have a minimum of 8 acres to have this. There's only one dwelling per lot. You're gonna run into all other sections of the bylaw that it's gonna conflict with. And you're gonna need a lot more help than that. You're gonna need someone to just kind of rewrite the whole bylaw to allow for more housing and this and that. So it's kind of a conundrum, I think, in a way. Does that help at all, or am I complicating it further?
I guess for me, it's niggling at me that our town council appeared to say that we didn't need to like do zoning, that with our current zoning, we could make this happen. But I don't know how to do that. I don't see it. So that's where and so I don't, so that's why I feel a little stuck.
That's why I think he needs to be in the room, so we can ask those questions and he can explain.
So,
And if he can't, then we know we're going down another road, but that's what he seemed to be saying, that there's a way to do this. But the way we tried to do it wasn't gonna pass.
Gonna pass muster.
Right.
I get what he's saying, really, about it not passing, because that is exactly what we did.
Quite obvious, yeah.
But as far as the current bylaw, I don't agree with them. And just because the attorney says so, we can get a new town council tomorrow and have a different opinion. Who do we listen to? It's, he's giving an opinion, based on that section. I don't know. They're not always to be looked at factual, like, yeah, okay, yeah, you can, it means look at it, can we find a way? And if we keep digging and digging and we don't find a way, then you don't find a way. So. Never has the zoning board created a bylaw. We are not a policing. We're not a policing. We are an enforcer of what's in writing. To create something and then go enforce it is really not what we should be doing. That's what the planning board, that falls under them. They have the public hearing, they ask for public comment, it's under them to go on the warrant to be accepted. So, they were gonna have to have it worded by somebody, because somebody has to go through, when you create a bylaw or you make a change, you have to make sure it doesn't conflict with all the other pieces of it.
The planning commission.
Right.
We have legal and we have outsourced planning.
So I'm surprised that they just didn't take this and run with it somehow. They know.
Because of the opinion from council. There wasn't, they're willing to.
No, not the one we've written, but why didn't they take it and, maybe try to come up with other ideas or go, hey guys, what do you think? We've sat in a room together before and say, okay, we have this problem. We want to do this, but the bylaw doesn't allow us, and we need to make some changes to make this work. What do we do? And we've gotten several boards together to, like a think tank, to come up with something that will, and then go, oh, this wording might work. Then you run it by town council, and then oh yeah, everyone thinks it's going to work. Then you run it by whoever, that kind of thing. So, what I'm saying is, why didn't the planning board want to do that?
Well, the planning board said they're willing to work with us and talk with us and yeah.
The amendment was brought to them from you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what you asked me to do.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they have responded that they would like to.
That they're not going to forward it, but yeah, they will work with us.
Oh, I thought they were just throwing it back at us to redo it and come up with something
in its
new.
current form, it is not feasible.
Yeah,
But they decided to read the
Okay.
minutes. I'm not gonna.
All right, maybe I'm
put it forward, but
misunderstanding.
Yeah.
They're happy.
They said they would work with us if we want to revise it or come up with something else, but.
So can we propose a joint session to work on this problem? Is that how it's worked in the past?
I don't know. Darlene seems to.
I've typically stayed away from it. We had like maybe one person from zoning, so it depends on what it is. Like I said, you gotta be careful about the zoning board being part of creating laws that they're going to be the enforcers of. So I've just thrown that warning out there, that's all. Yeah, I read that, I'm going, oh. I haven't had time to digest it, to think of what to do next. I'm just seeing the caution flags a little bit, so I just want, as everybody thinks about it, just keep that in mind.
Yeah. So do you want to put it as an agenda item for next meeting to sort of follow up, see where, once we've had time to digest more, what we want to do next.
I don't even know if it has to go on our agenda, but if you want to talk, it has nothing to do with the application that's on the table. It is all separate. This is just do good mission. So
Well, when you say that, do good mission for whom?
Right.
the
That's the
town,
problem.
the town.
Yeah.
Well, that's-
In that way.
No, it's not. Right. So everyone's saying they're willing to come up with something that is not that. Yeah, will do a better job. So it's not something you have to put on an agenda. Unless you really want, you're gonna invite the public to attend and now you're gonna, but I think you need a
even
little bit
general
more
discussion
meat.
has to be on the agenda. You
Yeah.
can't start talking about something that's not on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. That's what I'm trying to say. This is not a public hearing situation. No, there's
The
no
town clerk
application
just
for
sent out
this.
that
Yeah.
thing saying,
That's the
you cannot
agenda.
do that.
To discuss it with them.
That is strictly
Oh,
illegal.
well, yeah, you'd have to, if we were gonna get together, you'd have to post a meeting, right? But there's nothing stopping one of us to go into Beth and go and saying, hey, and talking to another planning board member to say, hey, let's get together and, what ideas do you have? All right, yeah, you can't all of us get together. So I feel like if you're gonna schedule a meeting, we should have something to start with. So,
All right.
I don't feel like it should be on the agenda. I think we should just steer clear of anything to do with writing a bylaw unless it's a comment from another board's looking for suggestions or comments. I also think that we should not suggest rewriting or modifying a bylaw to be a solution for a special permit.
my first reaction was like, okay, we tried.
You got a clear answer from council. What you tried to do was unfair.
Right.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah.
And so if you try another angle, I think you just, like I said, beating your head against the wall.
Yeah.
You can't sculpt the bylaw to benefit one or two properties. It's just not how it works.
Well, it would be to sculpt something that fits all of OCDs, not just this one. You would have to really do something and go, okay, it's for all the OCD districts.
So now we're getting somewhere. Maybe you want to revise the entire OCD.
Let's see that.
Because it's really poorly written, in my opinion, as we saw tonight, mixed
Well,
commercial.
that's what I probably should have said that, but that's what I meant.
So rewrite
No,
the whole
yeah,
district.
what we did, obviously, no. You need something completely new
Yeah.
that addresses, everybody wants more housing, but again, like I said, maybe we need to hire someone to go through our bylaws and have, we did a think tank years ago. And it's like, what do you want to see in the town? Is it time to do that? And go over a whole entire bylaw so that more housing's allowed everywhere.
Mhm.
I mean,
The state's doing it
Yeah.
with ADUs and.
Yeah, okay.
loosening up MBTA.
I'd rather us do it ourselves instead of having carrot dangles and being forced to do things or you don't get grant money. That's whole different.
Yeah,
We need to do what's good for our town.
You maybe suggest that be put on to the annual town meeting and maybe suggest that we look for grants for it.
I forget what they called it, but,
bylaw review committee.
no, it was, and, oh God, it was like in the 90s we did this. And someone stood there with a board and everywhere I got in groups and said, what do you want to see for the town? And you had certain subjects that were given, points. And they took all that and they did something with it. And mostly, I think it was the charter, general bylaw it went into, but then I think the planning board took a couple things and they revised a couple bylaws and made some changes. But you'll see in there are changes in the bylaw that suit specific people. It's been done. It
Mm.
just is worded differently.
And it's not been done recently because it's illegal according to the AG's.
Well, of
review.
course it is, but
We've had stuff kicked back recently.
if the idea just comes from one thing, but it's for everybody, then. So that's what it has to be. Somehow you've gotta. Yeah, someone's gotta make the argument then, okay, we want multifamily housing in OCD. And I think, well, why even have an OCD? Why even have a commercial district? What's a commercial district for? Right? For commercial uses. So it could be a big discussion.
The purpose is to accommodate the widest range of permitted commercial activities.
Yeah. Right.
Which I guess that spawns further debate, what that means.
Vicky, maybe, one of us from this board should talk to one person on the planning board and
Mm.
kind of get there, like, see, what do they think? Would they be open to a think tank? Maybe we could schedule something. We could invite all the boards, see who's interested, and
I mean, it's worth at least taking the step to reaching out to the planning board. A member of the planning board, I think.
right,
Oh.
right. Maybe they have some ideas and we can plan a meeting with some substance or something.
Right.
I mean, do any of you have like any solid ideas that we could put on the table to discuss?
I mean, the only thing that came up today that looked interesting was sort of another category within a special permit in the OCD that would allow more dense, residential. As you said, yeah, we need to look at the whole OCD to make sure that that's not going to be a problem. Does anybody have existing relationships with anybody on the planning board?
We know who's on. Who's on the board now?
I'm the admin, so I can relay anything you need.
Actually, you want to relay to them that we don't know what to do next?
Okay, yeah.
It's not, and remind them, we wrote something as kind of like here, like an idea, take this.
So what is the goal though? Because that goal was obviously to grant a special permit for a specific application.
To allow denser housing that's permanent.
Okay, so
long-term,
yeah, so you can
permanent,
generalize, yeah, I think maybe just come to a meeting and I'll put it on the agenda. I'll put it on the agenda, you come to a meeting, how's that?
And then say that, they're
Or I can,
looking for your
we
thoughts.
can make a joint meeting on the 18th and then I could ask them to come.
Well, again, I guess the thing is we see that there's a problem that we think should be resolved, but if we're following the guidance of that we shouldn't be creating the rules that we enforce. I'm not sure a joint meeting to start off is probably the right thing, but once we have some ideas and that seem viable, then maybe pulling together would be helpful. The think tank idea.
Getting back into Sophie, but as the applicant and their attorney have any input as to how to alter the,
And talk about the case right now.
No.
well, I'm not talking about the case.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Talking
Yeah,
about future, okay, never mind, I guess it could be misconstrued.
What about the fact that the building inspector in August, part of his referral said these are non-owner occupied cottage dwellings per bylaw? We can't like take that and run with that.
I agree, he's incorrect. They're not cottage dwellings. Cottage dwellings are part of the age restricted.
What the heck is a cottage dwelling?
I think that's
It's defined in the bylaw.
part of the problem.
Yeah.
Like I said, these definitions, a dwelling, a cottage dwelling,
Hmm.
whatever.
So what happens when you add stuff to the bylaw?
Detached one-family dwelling not exceeding
Yeah, it
1,800
was
square
added
feet.
as part of that bylaw, right? And I don't think the rest of the bylaw was aligned.
Right. When the ADU was added, that's what that definition was meant toward.
It
So-
meant, but it doesn't refer to it, so it's the problem.
It's in the bylaw, the body of the bylaw, cottage dwellings. So it's actually in the body of the bylaw, but it is still separately in the definitions at the
Yeah,
beginning,
right.
you know, so.
Right.
But the only place it's referenced in the bylaw, the body of the bylaw, is in the age restricted development bylaw.
Mm.
Yeah, it was written for that.
Can we ask if our select person, past planning board member, has anything to add
Any
to
thoughts?
this conversation?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I did say Madam Chair, but I also had the fire thing going here too. I am very interested in your willingness to meet with somebody at planning. I think it's a great idea. We do need growth in housing. We know that we can only get so much anyway because of the septic system requirements. And I also think that perhaps having somebody, maybe even somebody from Board of Health and the building inspector and someone from zoning and planning sit down first, or maybe even a select board member. I would be willing to do that. I was on planning for a long time. And that's just something that we have not gotten off the ground yet. I think we're going to be looking at state mandated stuff coming with the lack of housing and the shortage of housing that we have. And I think that if you had a group of people get together and say, how can we do this with the making the least impact, you know, on our water, on our septic systems, and possibly utilizing more of the Main Street area, you know, which is, there are still other places that you could have it, on main drags, I'm saying, not smaller, that you could have more housing that won't look like you have a new city kind of thing. So I think if somebody from zoning and planning, and I think the building inspector will be willing to meet with us, as well as maybe Rick Metcalf. I wouldn't say necessarily any of the commission members, but I would deal with the people who deal with the laws. Okay. So that would be best in order to come up with the new bylaw, which planning would do. Those are my thoughts. So thank you.
I think if you're gonna look at curtailing the zoning laws, you really gotta get some outside help. Maybe from the MRPC, like, correct me if I'm wrong here, Montezuma Regional Planning Commission. There are success stories within our region, and they are aware of other areas where making zoning laws have made places more livable. And I think that's what we're looking for.
Wouldn't it be nice if they had if the state provided somebody for us to help us instead of making us pay for it?
How do we know that they don't really? They may.
Yeah, through grants.
Yeah, and there's specific grants
Grants.
for looking at zoning laws and how to change them to make them more like what you want the town to be. So, and to allow for more housing in the more viable, vital, what's the word I'm looking for? To have their downtown have a lot more vitality. So it's out there, and please do that. Please help.
It'd be nice if we could get some more commercial too to help pay for, I mean, you need both.
Yeah.
There's areas that we could write into zoning that would allow the town to make more money.
I think a lot of more mixed use would be really nice too.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
Improve the pedestrian traffic and walkability of the town.
no one even mentioned, oh, why don't you change that? There's a perfect building there that could have more housing or mixed use and you could up the units. I
The
mean,
zoning districts are problematic. And
well, it was
everything
created a
gets
long time
separated and
ago.
depended on, I'm gonna sound like a hippie, but I don't care. To be dependent on vehicles. That's how zoning laws came about, and we need to change them.
Well, Lori, is this something you'd be willing to get rolling as far as getting a number of different people together from each of the different boards?
I'd be happy to do that. I'll speak to Kieran tomorrow and see, because I mean, I know building inspector and Rick I've worked with for many years, and I'll just ask if we can get a group together. Do you know who from zoning would like to do it? Like
He'll
that
do it.
Did you just volunteer me?
experience or Vicky?
I'm trying to get off the zoning board.
Okay. Remember a think tank group, right?
Yeah.
Back and I get to
I might be
planning.
able to help with that.
Planning would be the one that would initiate it. But getting all the information behind it for planning to work with is what we need.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll speak to Kieran tomorrow about it. I
Thanks.
thank you all very much. I think you did a great job tonight. It was tough.
It is tough.
And the thing about that building too is like Colby just said, we need to do more housing in that mixed use area. That's a walkability place.
There's an elevator too, I think.
And they have an elevator, yes, too. Plenty of parking, elevator, they can walk to the store, they can walk to the pizza place, they can walk to the bank and the post office. I mean, that's what you want. So it's really too bad that particular part of the bylaw restricted you. I don't know if there's a way, or why shouldn't there be a way that because of the way the commercial industry is right now in this area, why can't that be all residential? Why does it have to be mixed use? As long as he stays within the septic requirements.
Right. Well, the problem is because you can't put commercial in residential areas and we don't have enough commercial. So I think people are afraid to take away commercial ability. If you turn the whole town into residential and you don't have any commercial, that's a problem too. So that's that whole balance.
I'm not
Town's that big.
about restricting it. I'm talking about the option to do it.
Yeah.
In other words, if things change and all those people go and buy houses, okay, or they move out of state, which is more likely, okay, so the way things are going. But if that happens, then you can go back to your commercial,
Sure, yeah.
whatever the market or the times
Drives.
fire.
I gotcha.
I'm going to see if I can get a group together and get you guys going, okay?
Is there any,
Thank you.
would there be a problem if more than one of us per board wanted to attend, as long as we posted a notice?
I don't think there's a problem for two of
Right.
either boards because you're not a quorum,
Mhm.
Quorum.
okay?
Okay.
So that would be
Okay.
okay for those two, but I would still go with the staff people, okay? The building inspector and not Carla, but Rick. I want somebody with the law background. My opinion, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
And
Well, they work with other towns too, so they can give input to go, oh, they're doing this over here. You might want to consider that.
correct.
So,
Also going to talk to Kieran about, one, does he want to be involved as a TA? And two, does he think we could get counsel to help us? Okay?
Okay,
mhm.
that sounds great. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, thanks, Lori.
Right. Maybe we'll come with a better solution. Yeah, that will benefit more people. All right, so I believe we're at the end of the agenda. I don't think there was any correspondence. Is there any correspondence today? I don't think so. All right, I think at this point, we'll look for a motion to close the meeting. Adjourn the meeting.
Rob Usula, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Darlene seconds.
Rob Streeter, yes.
Darlene, yes.
Rob Usula, yes.
Vicky Janicki, yes. Well, thank you everyone for your diligent work today. And we'll see you in a few weeks. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep.